good morning, everybody. All right, so today I'm going to walk you through um, how to do this, and you'll be able to say by the end of the class that I can draw water puddles and slime creatures. So right now, what I want you to do is get your paper and your pencil ready. Markers, color pencils, all that still good enough. Pens, but I think you're going to want to use a pencil today because I'm going to do some shading. And I'm going to show you how to walk you through these 3 steps. And then by the end, your puddle should look a little bit more 3D. And let me pull up this slime. And then I'm going to have you, well, for you guys, I'm really going to focus on the 3D part, the shading part. But for the little kids, I'm going to, well, you're still little kids too, but let's take it to the next step and let's slime. And, turn them into characters. Little kids like that stuff. That's good. Right. All right. So we get my colored pencil. It's pretty much just an organic shape. It just means it's not geometrical. It's not like all rigid and like triangles and stuff like that and squares. It's got a lot of curved shapes, and the more you just try to go with the flow, it'll look more organic. So I'm just going to copy the best I can. All right, so I got an organic shape, made as many curves as I can, tried to just copy it from the book the best I can. And so now it wants to add thickness that follows the contour of the shape on one side. So when I talk about variation and variety in your line, sometimes you can achieve that by going over your lines a couple times. So everywhere that would consider the bottom of this, I'm going to draw another little layer next to it. And I want to point out that some of these lines are going to be like when we did the ribbon. Anywhere that's an edge, I'm just trying to point out that these lines disappear underneath the other lines next to them. So right here, it would go back. It's not going to just follow. It's not a direct parallel line. They tend to go underneath. And I guess even not too much, but over here has a little bit too. So now that I have that, let's go to step 3. Now you want to shade the rim that you just created. So you pretty much just color this whole thing in. Leave some white spots for highlights. So anywhere that's closest to you, that was supposed to look closer to you, you would just leave that white. And I know that I was showing you guys how to shade the cylinders, so I'll draw a cylinder next to this. And right here was darker, and then I had light and darker. So just the same as the cylinder. We'll color some of this, and we'll leave some of it white. So it should start to give you this appearance that it's um, some of it's popping towards you, and some of it is like sitting behind some shadows. I keep scratching my nose a lot. You guys noticing that? Okay, my nose is like itchier than it's ever been. All right, in step 5, you want to shade lightly. Lightly shade the rounded edges at the top of the puddle. So like we're just gonna give a light. Let me use this pencil up here because and I don't see anywhere on the picture that's like when there she said shade the top. It doesn't go all the way to the edge. It's like a little bit just to the like close. Yeah, and nowhere really in the middle as this on her picture. Yeah, so the next thing, in the book it gives you, it says you can use this same technique when you're drawing puzzle pieces, and normally that's what I would have you do. I would have you make a bunch of puzzle pieces and have them all line up. But I'm gonna be teaching this lesson to some younger kids later, so I figure these two things look alike. And why not go ahead and turn this thing into slime creature? So I'm just trying to do two things. I'm trying to teach you the technique, try to make this thing look like it's 3D. And not just a flat puddle, but like it has some depth. It's not just an organic shape anymore. But also at the same time, I'm trying to show you that those techniques, they're being used all the time when you see cartoons and movies and animations and stuff like that, even just other drawings and books and stuff. So I think it's a good foundational, video that doesn't have to just be one thing. So, yeah, that book's upstairs. I just bought a new book yesterday that has different types of eyes and stuff. So remember, you don't have to just draw these types of eyes. You can add some variety in. So this is just like an older, like not older, but for older children, a book. And it's the same. It's like almost the same technique. except for it has shadows. It's called um here it is. It's called a cast shadow. It's not just when we draw. It's not just called shadows. Because the top of the book or the top of the water droplet has shading, so you just don't want to say it's a shadow or they have a name for it. It's called a cast shadow. So like if you're standing outside next to a tall tree and you look next to it, anywhere that's like behind the sun, um, is gonna have that dark shadow. They call that the cast shadow. So any way you want the light to come into your picture, just choose a direction. So if I say this way, this arrow would be the light. The cast shadow would be over here. And it's the same for any which way. Like if the light was going straight this way up, the shadow would be behind. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose. And I normally wouldn't draw the arrow, but I want you to see that. The light is going this way. So you would have, it's almost parallel line. But it's not. And then you shade that in. And it can be a little darker than the rest because it's a shadow and it's a cat, like it's the object is casting this shadow. So there should be less light. And so I'm just kind of drawing this sloppy because I just want you to see it, but that's how cast shadows work, everybody. So that's just adding to this water drop type of project. All right, that's pretty much it for me.